the response of the state to Professor Utomi's, proposed action, it really raises a couple of concerns. And it's concerns with respect to what is the place of dissent in a democracy? What is the place of accountability in a democracy? Because all the erudite professor just said is establishing or setting up a shadow government to hold the government to account. It doesn't in any way mean that he's usurping the powers of the president or he's establishing a parallel government. For those who know how shadow governments actually work, it's just an instrument of accountability. It's just a symbolic, accountability action. And citizens have a right, to ask questions and hold government to account depending on the vehicle that they use. But I see no reason why they're instituting, a litigation, an action against Professor Utomi. I would strongly advise against it. I think he has explained what he meant, by that. It's not in any way seeking to unconstitutionally remove or usurp the powers of the president. President Tinubu still remains the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's a creation of the Constitution. And so he have the legislature that exists to limit the exercise of executive powers. But initiatives as the ones proposed by Professor Utomi is just nothing but holding government to account. Critiquing government and government policies is how democracy thrives. So I think that we should encourage efforts where citizens are able, to interrogate government policies and profile alternatives and solutions. That's how our nation actually grows. The country cannot grow with one set of individuals determining the structure, the form, the content of how government should run. No, that's not how democracy works. Democracy works on diversity and competition of ideas. The most important thing is Professor Utomi has explained what he meant by, a shadow government. And once he's done that, he's exonerated himself, from any allegation of an attempt to usurp the powers of the president or remove the president unconstitutionally. He has explained it, and this every Nigerian, will understand the plain language which Professor Utomi actually spoke. So I really think that this is not good optics. It actually suggests that, there's a rejection and a strong opposition, to dissent and calls for accountability. And I hope that, the DSS can reconsider its decision. If it needed any form of clarification, it would have written, to Pat Utomi to explain what he meant. But the erudite prof has explained, like you referenced in your interview, what he meant by a shadow government. It doesn't mean he's establishing, another government within an existing constitutional order, because the constitutional order that we recognize today is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is established and it's not in doubt in any way. A shadow government is simply, it's a form of social engagement and social control, but also social accountability. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, in my considered opinion.